What if the key to happiness isn't solving your problems, but embracing them as an exciting part of your journey? So many of us spend our days stressed, constantly worrying about the future, trying to fix everything before it even goes wrong. But what if all that effort is actually holding us back? Today I'm going to share a story that might just change the way you see life. It's about Alex, a guy who's overwhelmed by the weight of his problems. Work, stress, bills, relationships. But then he stumbles across a powerful quote by Eckhart Tolle. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. That one simple sentence changes everything for him, and it might do the same for you. So if you've ever felt like life is an endless series of obstacles to overcome, stick around. After the story, I'm going to give you some practical tips on how to shift your mindset. Stop overthinking and start living with more peace and clarity. You won't want to miss these insights that could truly make your life better. So first, let's dive into the story. Alex walked into the small coffee shop, his head buried in his phone, scrolling to his bank app. His heart sank when he saw the balance. Rent was due in 5 days, and between the mounting credit card debt and an unexpected car repair, he wasn't sure how he was going to make it. On top of that, his boss had hinted at possible layoffs. Even if he didn't lose his job, the pressure to perform at work was overwhelming. He ordered a black coffee, hardly noticing the barista's friendly greeting, and walked to a corner table, still lost in his thoughts. How was he supposed to fix everything? He had run the numbers 100 times, and still they didn't add up. The stress of it all sat heavy in his chest, making it hard to breathe. As he sat down, something caught his eye. Behind the counter, on a chalkboard, was a quote. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. Eckhart Tolle. Alex stared at the words for a long moment, his coffee cooling in front of him. A mystery to be lived. His life felt like a constant series of problems that had to be solved. Rent, bills, work. If he didn't stay on top of everything, things would fall apart. But now, his quote was suggesting something different. Something that felt so foreign to him. He took a slow sip of his coffee, still thinking about it. The quote lingered in his mind as he thought about his biggest problems. There was no way to magically make more money or to avoid layoffs. His car still needed repairs, and that bill wasn't going away anytime soon. He had been trying to fix everything, yet the more he worried, the more trapped he felt. That evening, Alex sat at his kitchen table staring at his laptop, running over his budget again. The same anxieties bubbled up. I'm going to miss rent. I'm going to lose my job. The same loop he'd been stuck in for weeks. But something was different now. A small voice in the back of his head whispering, what if you stopped trying to solve everything? He closed the laptop and leaned back, letting the weight of his worry settle over him. Then, for the first time, he didn't try to push the feelings away. He let them be. Maybe he didn't need to fix everything right now. Rent was due, yes, but perhaps he could ask his landlord for a few extra days. The car repairs could wait a little longer. He could still drive after all. The next morning at work, he walked into the office expecting the worst. The layoffs were supposed to be announced that afternoon. He braced himself for the news, but when his boss called him into the office, it wasn't to fire him. Instead, his boss reassured him that his position was safe, for now at least. Relief washed over Alex, though he quickly realized something else. all that worry about losing his job, and it hadn't even happened. He had spent weeks on edge, imagining the worst, and now the problem had resolved itself without him doing anything. What other worries had he been carrying for no reason? That night, Alex sat with Claire on the couch, the quietness between them. They'd been drifting apart lately, tension growing from his constant stress. She glanced at him. "You seem different," she said. "I think I am," he admitted. "I've been worrying about everything, trying to fix things that aren't even broken yet. But maybe I don't need to have it all figured out right now." Claire gave him a small smile, reaching for his hand. "I think you're right." And for the first time in months, Alex felt like he could breathe. The problems were still there, but now he understood that thinking about them over and over didn't make them go away. If anything, it just made them feel bigger. He realized that no amount of worrying could ever predict what was coming next. The future would unfold as it always did, unexpectedly and uncontrollably. His job wasn't to foresee every outcome, but to live through each moment as it arrived, trusting that he could handle whatever came next. Now that you've heard Alex's story, let's break down what happened to him and how you can apply this in your own life. Alex was consumed by worry, constantly trying to solve all of his problems. But when he came across that powerful quote, "Life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived," he realized something important. The more he focused on fixing everything, the heavier his burdens felt. But when he let go of that need for control, things started to fall into place. So how can you apply this to your life? Here are 3 simple steps. 1. Accept uncertainty. Understand that you can't predict or control everything. Just like Alex learned, worrying about the future doesn't make things better. It only drains your energy. Start by embracing the unknown instead of fearing it. 2. Live in the moment. Focus on the present. Instead of dwelling on problems that haven't even happened yet, pay attention to what's in front of you right now. This shift in focus can reduce anxiety and help you see life's beauty. 3. Trust the process. Life isn't meant to be perfectly managed. Like Alex, allow yourself to trust that things will unfold as they should, even if you don't have all the answers right now. If this resonated with you, it would mean the world to me if you could give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be sharing more stories and tips like this to help you live a happier, more peaceful life. Thanks for watching.